Welcome back to another episode of Mom Talk. I've been telling Victoria a little bit about this, but I want to get her opinion because you still have young kids.
Yeah.
That the CDC has changed their milestone chart.
Okay. I knew this was coming because when Remy's speech wasn't where it was supposed to be, and I asked for a speech referral way on back when, they told me it was going to be changing.
Okay, so I definitely didn't know it was, but I used to live on this site when my kids were little.
You were so concerned about it?
No, I was. I'm like, okay, if they have a 6-month well check coming up, what should they be doing? Because I'm about to teach you if you don't know it. Like, looking back, I wouldn't do that again.
Yeah.
Now that I know each kid is going to do their milestones when they're supposed to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But at that time, one thing surprised me, and it was like, can they pick up a Cheerio and run a string through it? I was like, what?
Yeah, just that fine motor skill.
How would I know if they can do that?
Yeah.
So then I started checking before I went. They are actually removing like 200 milestones.
Oh, okay.
So I think that's interesting. But I guess they were like kind of like repeating at different ages.
Yeah.
But then they added some for like 15 months and 30 months for their social, emotional, like smiling.
Oh, okay.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember them asking me, I don't know at what age, but yes, are they smiling? Are they like reacting to a person in the room with their eyes?
Mm-hmm.
You got
Yeah.
all that, right?
Oh, yeah. So where I take my kids to the doctor, it's these questionnaires you fill out before you go online.
Mm-hmm.
And it submits them to the doctor. And if there's any concerns, they talk about them at your appointment. But the doctor never asked me.
Right. You just fill it out.
I just filled it out.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, anything I would bring up if I really needed to know.
Yeah.
Or if I thought something was off. So they're going to change the crawling age.
Okay, what is it currently?
They're removing it because some babies just skip crawling. But I would still want that to be in there. I think it's like a 9 to 12 months.
Yeah, I feel like that should stay.
I mean, my kids they both crawled. They didn't go straight from sitting to walking.
Remy crawled for a brief period in time, but she walked pretty early. She walked like she was barely 11 months old.
That second baby.
Like, I think it was like the day she turned 11 months old. Maybe 10 months old. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was young, I felt like. Because Mason was like 12, 13 months.
But both of you are still crawled.
Mason crawled for longer. Remy had like a good 2 weeks of crawling and she was walking.
Okay, this says that walking moved from 12 months to 15 months.
Okay.
I did feel like some pressure, like, oh my gosh, they're a year old. What's wrong? They're supposed to be walking. Or like I would try more to like stand up.
I just felt like my kids were on track, even if it wasn't exact. They were close enough.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were making progress where I could see that it was going to happen.
You already know me. It's got to be done that day.
Yeah, and it has to be what it says. It can't just be progress towards the goal. It has to be the goal.
No, the goal. And the goal didn't say 12 to 15 months. It said 12.
Yeah.
So it's like, we got to get rolling here.
Mm-hmm.
What is wrong with me?
I don't know.
I'm aware of it. And I wouldn't do it again if I had more kids. But at that time, I was like, let's get this boot camp started.
Yeah. You're walking today.
We're getting Cheerios out. Fishing
and the
wire.
yarn.
Yeah. Whatever you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah. No. As long as I could tell my kids, like, we're making progress, I was like, oh, good.
I mean,
Now that's like Remy with her speech. We stalled out. She hit a plateau where she wasn't making progress anymore. And I was like, you need help.
so did you know that by the chart, or you knew compared to Mason, or you just knew from her age?
I could not compare speech to Mason at all, ever, with any child, ever again.
Yeah.
He was so abnormal. He was singing the whole happy birthday song at 17 months old, like, and using big words too.
Words you didn't even teach him.
Like, before he was 2, he was talking about stabilizing things.
How?
I don't know.
When are you going to test him for gifted?
I'm not. But, I mean, I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, so I can't compare any kid to Mason, but it was by the milestones. So I don't remember what month it was. I think it was like her 15th month. She had like maybe under, like 1 or 2 under the goal amount of words.
Okay.
And I mentioned it.
So you mentioned it. Yeah.
Was it 15 months I mentioned it? Yeah, probably. I mentioned it at 15 months, and the pediatrician was like, I mean, we can wait till 18 months and see, or I can go ahead and give you a speech referral.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a chance that they'll do an evaluation and determine she doesn't need to be there. I was like, yeah, let's do that.
Just do it.
let me have a speech pathologist see if she needs it. Mm-hmm. No offense to the pediatrician. I love her. She's great, but that's not her specialty.
Right.
So she referred us. We went to speech. They did the evaluation, which at 15 months when they're not talking, it's mostly talking to me.
Yeah.
And asking me certain sounds she can say and like trying to get her to say I'm there, which is a challenge. She's shy. And based off the evaluation, she was like, technically she passed, but I don't want her to get behind. Mm-hmm. She was like, so we'll start now and that should do it. And it did. And she's great.
Yeah, you felt good about it.
Yeah, I felt good about it.
How long were y'all in speech?
I want to say like 7 months.
Okay.
Like once a week.
Once a week?
Yeah.
And they just work on sounds and like getting her to form
and, like,
words. And you homework.
Homework was a big thing. Like, especially because we were going once a week. And she didn't have like any, well, that we know of or knew of, any type of disorder. Mm-hmm. Like, to cause it. She just was behind.
Right.
Which at the time they were like, a lot of COVID babies are behind on speech.
Yeah.
People, you learn speech in so many different ways, but the masks and seeing how people's mouths move when they speak.
That's huge.
Yeah. And it's more than just your caregivers. Like, it's everybody. So, and like that, same for expressions too. Like being able to read emotions. Yeah, they taught her sounds, and then as it went on, they taught her sentences, because that was a thing. She wasn't gaining sentences.
Like putting words together.
Because even once she had the words, I was like, hey, Remy, what is this? And it would be a blue cup. She would say cup. And I'm like, okay, what color is it? Blue. I'm like, so it's a...
Yeah.
And she would not say blue cup. So she wouldn't put words together, even if she knew words. So they helped with that. Lots of homework, because when you go once a week, obviously, you can go... We went every Monday. If you go on Monday and you don't do any work with her until the next Monday, you're going to be at the exact same place. Mm-hmm. It's not like that 1 hour every week is going to magically fix it. You have to do the homework. Mm-hmm. And then we had a break. So we did it for about 7 months. Then we had a break. And then we had like a checkup, pretty much, if you will, to see if she was still on track for her age.
And?
She was.
Okay.
And so then they were like, call us if you need us. And now I do have some concerns with her enunciation, but she's 4.
Right.
And barely. So I'm going to give it a minute before I get concerned again.
Mm-hmm. Will they check that kind of thing like at Red Barn or?
So there is a speech pathologist who comes and evaluates kids there if you sign up for it.
Okay.
So I might have that done. I might wait. I'm not sure yet.
Okay. Okay. Another one of the milestones was rolling over. I do not remember when my kids did that, but it was 4 months and they bumped it to 6.
Okay. So Remy again, she had physical therapy because she would only roll in one direction.
Oh, yeah.
But she had the flat head, and I don't remember, torticollis?
Yes, the torticollis.
Yes. So she had physical therapy. We literally went 3 or 4 times.
Torticollis is when it's tight on one side. So is she rolling to that side because it's tight?
She would, like, her head always laid a certain way because her neck was tight. Mm-hmm. And so she would only roll the way that was comfortable. So, like, if it hurt to turn her head the other way because it was tight.
And she's not going to.
She's not going to, and she didn't.
So they worked on her torticollis and...
Yeah, and then she was rolling all over the place.
Rolling everywhere.
Both ways.
Okay.
But, you know, she had the flat head. We did the helmet.
Yes.
We've done it all with Remy.
Yeah. Check.
So, she's graduated lots of things. Speech, physical therapy, helmet. I mean, she's got certificates.
Yeah, she's ahead of the game. It makes me think back to Henry when he was that little... But I just felt like he was always so uncomfortable with reflux. I don't think it was anything else. It could have been. I'm going to check his head later.
Check it out. I feel like it's more noticeable on babies or, like, boys.
Yeah.
Because, like...
Well, neither of my kids had hair for a while, so...
You would have known.
I feel like...
But I say you would have known. I had my blinders on, I guess. I had no idea Remy's head was flat until the doctor said it.
But if you're not looking for that, like, you're just looking
Her
at your baby.
head was so flat, though, Jordan. I should have seen that, like, oh, your head's flat. Like, why do you have a wall? I should have seen that. I mean, it all worked out. She's adorable.
Yeah, it's all good.
And it's very round now.
You know, I don't even think helmets, I'm not saying it's a trend. I'm just saying I don't think that was a thing even when my kids were younger. Definitely not us.
It's definitely new.
Like newer to be able to fix that.
And I have seen people with flat heads.
Do I have a flat head?
You have hair. I don't know.
I don't know. It doesn't feel flat, but I might have
I feel like mine's rounded.
I feel like I might have blinders on for myself.
I feel like mine's got a curve, but there was no curve for Remy. Bless her.
Okay.
She's still cute, though.
The other one is the language. So they lowered the standards for that. So that's probably what you were talking about.
Yeah.
So it says they should be able to have at least 50 words from 2 years to 30 months.
And no milestone checks before that?
This is just the adding the new.
Oh, okay. I was like, what?
Yeah. They removed duplicates, but those are the new that they added. The crawling, walking, rolling, and the language.
Okay. I mean, Mason had 1 million words at birth, so...
Really, both my kids spoke very well, like sentences by 15 to 17 months.
Yeah.
I didn't have to worry about speech.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish I could take credit for that. I just think that's just them.
You know, everybody's got talents. Like, babies do too.
Yeah.
Mason picked up on words real quick. And now Mason's in kindergarten, and Remy can write better than him.
Oh, she's got the better. Yeah.
Like, the fine motor, and she wants to do it. Mason doesn't care to do it.
No. Well,
So
I don't see that changing.
She could write her name at 3, and Mason can barely write it at 5.
I feel like, girls like want things to look good and look nice and pretty and colorful and organized, and boys are like, don't care.
Exactly.
I told Henry, I was like, if you're turning in this homework, nobody can read it. Like, I don't know how you're going to get a grade on it. And he does not care.
So boys in general just don't care as much.
I don't see that changing with Henry. I mean, I'm sure there's some boys out there that might.
Yeah,
I just don't know him yet.
Mason does not appear to be one.
Okay, did you compare your kids at all these stages, like walking first, speaking first, crawling first, or did that not bother you either?
No, I don't think that bothered me. I think my kids were very close in age, so it was just like very fresh on my mind still. Like, I didn't have to be like, oh, when did Mason do that? Like, I knew. I don't think I compared though. I was just like, oh, like, cool.
I remember one of my first doctor's appointments early on with Henry. The first thing that came out of my mouth was Emma did. And Dr. Rhodes was like, you absolutely cannot compare two different children. I was like, okay, you're right. Like, I don't feel like there's something wrong with them. I'm like, did I do something different to where they're not getting what they need? But he was like, no, you can't do that. But really, I did believe him. I was like, oh, I got to snap out of that. That's crazy.
Yeah, I think the only time, like, when Remy had to go to speech, I was like, well, I take that back. I didn't compare them, but I was sad, like you said. Like, did I do something?
I mean, you and I revert back to that.
Yeah. And, like, the flathead thing, that one really tore me up because I'm like, oh, when you Google it, it's like, it can be because of their position when they were in you. And I really think that was her case. I had what is it called? Anterior placenta. And, I mean, that's not unheard of, but it's... like, I think only a quarter of pregnancies it's anterior.
Okay.
Most of the time it's posterior. Or it'll shift to posterior. So the way she was positioned could have been it. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. When you Google it, it says you just laid your baby down too much.
Right.
And you didn't pick them up enough.
Yeah.
However, it can also be from holding them in your arm, like when they're newborns, that curve in your little elbow.
Yeah.
Their little head.
I know you were holding her, but yeah, it's not... your fault.
Yeah. So I had a hard time with that because I was like, oh, I do have these 2 kids. Like, Mason's 1. I have to keep up with a 1-year-old. I'm changing 2 diapers every time I change one. And did I lay her down too much?
Right.
And it's like tummy time. I'm like, I did tummy time. But she didn't want to do tummy time because I didn't know it at the time, but the torticollis was in effect then.
Right.
So, yeah. I blamed myself for that. And then the speech, I blamed myself for literally... maybe 2 minutes of a mental breakdown. And then I was like, no, this is on her.
It's on you, girl.
No, for real though, because like I am talking to both of my kids all the time.
Right.
But I was already talking to Mason. Mason was talking to me. She saw full conversations.
I see. She saw both sides of the convo.
So what is it? Because it's not me. When Mason was a baby, I did just talk his head off. I would explain everything I was doing.
I did the same thing. We're changing your diaper.
Yeah.
It's time to eat.
I'm about to boil this water. Now I'm going to add the noodles. Like, I'm telling you, my whole day.
Yeah.
It's scripted.
Well, that's who you had to talk to, and it's good for them.
Well, also, Mason, he was 10 months old when the world shut down for COVID. So, Jared's jobs were all essential. It's just me and this baby.
So we talking.
We really talking. I am pregnant. I am not feeling well, and you are the only person here.
Yeah.
Or that I ever see. So, yeah, we're chatting.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably why he started talking. He was like, I can't
He's
take
like,
it.
it's my turn to talk. I've got to shut her off some way.
Let me figure this out quick. But no, Remy, I'm like, that, I can't even blame myself or compare.
No.
And it just is what it is. She needed help with something. I got her help, and now she's fine.
Well, also, it's so funny to me that I had any type of feelings like that because my kids are so different.
Yeah.
Night and day.
It's
what
funny
motivates
how,
them.
yeah. Like, so why as a baby would that be any different?
Right. But I was crazy for a while.
I mean, why not?
I mean, I still am, but like when my kids were little, it's a different type of
No, yeah, it is.
worried and
I mean,
crazy.
even now, I still worry about weird stuff with my kids.
Oh, me too. Like your throat hurts, you have meningitis. I don't even know. Let's take
I sent you a picture of Mason's schoolwork the other day. I'm like, is he dyslexic?
Right.
Because his 5s and 3s are all backwards. And his 4 is an H. Like, but no.
I know. We just want to make sure they're on track still.
Okay, so speaking of Mason and the potential of dyslexia, his name is now normal. Like, he writes it normally. Mm-hmm. In order. It's not backwards. The letters are the letters.
Yeah.
Numbers are improving. I sent you the one the other day where triangle got all the letters right.
Wow.
Square got them all right. I was like, okay, you're fine. But he was writing his name completely mirrored for a while. Did I send you that ever?
Mm-hmm.
N was the first letter and it was backwards. Then
Oh, wow. So, yeah,
every letter was backwards, and we started with N and worked to M.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is that? That has to be dyslexia.
That has to be a thing.
We have dyslexia in the family. And again, like, if my kid has any struggle, I'm going to just, like, help them. I don't care that they have a problem or something's going on with them.
Right.
I just want to help you. I went to Mason's little friend's house for a play date, and there was a picture on the wall, some artwork she had made, and her name was completely mirrored and backwards too. I was like, what? I even mentioned it to the mom. I was like, did she do that often?
Yeah, so what does that mean?
I don't know what it means, but she did it too, and this is like his twin flame bestie.
So what did that mom think?
She was like, oh yeah, she did that for a while, but she's in kindergarten now and like it's straightened out, which Mason's did too, but I'm like, why?
Oh, they both
did you
did
both?
It?
Like, her name is Aspen, and she would do N, and it was backwards. E backwards. I was like, what is this?
Oh, that's so interesting.
Isn't it? So, I mean, I don't know if it's like a age-appropriate thing.
Yeah.
Or just a them thing. But they were not around each other for months when this happened.
Oh, even more weird. I didn't know if he saw her do that at school.
Nope.
So how is his homework? Like, does he have to write sentences or words or...
Sentences, yes.
Okay.
So we have sight words every week. And then we have to use the sight words and the CVC, the consonant, vowel, consonant words, to make a sentence, which really means me coming up with a sentence from these words. And then he writes it.
Okay.
He doesn't want to do it, but he needs to do it. Like, it's helping.
Do you feel like his writing is good on the homework when you're watching him do it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, and the further into the school year we get, the less concerned I get.
Do you want to talk about the first bunny ears report card?
Oh, yeah, we can.
What do y'all call them?
A report card.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know you don't get like a number grade until 3rd grade, but in kindergarten, 1st, and 2nd, you get OT, AE, or BE. So on track, approaching expectations, or below expectations.
Yeah.
So me and Victoria want our kids to have all on track or approaching. I mean, what parent doesn't want that? But I think it's hard to do that in the first 9 weeks of kindergarten when they are still like learning so much.
Yeah. It still made me sad though that he got any BEs. He got how many? 2, 3?
It was not many.
It was not many, but I'm like, I don't want you to struggle with anything.
Yeah, you don't want him to be struggling. You don't care as much about the grade as if he's not understanding.
Right.
Right.
I'm like, I want to help you with that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care that it says BE. I care that you're struggling. Mm-hmm. And I want to help you.
Yeah, because Henry got a couple one time, and I was like, what's going on?
Yeah.
What do I do? But the teacher said the same thing to me, like, you got to give it a minute. We're still learning all this. I don't even think she necessarily wanted to put in a grade for that, but I don't know if you just, like, have to.
Well, because they don't even cover everything they're going to learn for the whole year in the first, 9 weeks?
Right.
Like, it's unrealistic. And, like, the things that were BE were things that he had been doing. I'm like, how are you getting on track for things y'all haven't covered yet? But you're getting below expectation for things that you've been working on nonstop for 9 weeks.
I see.
Like, why can't you identify certain letters.
Like a capital letter. Like they have to do that,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Like, well, and they did a more like, they tested him, and I liked this better than the report card because it broke it down. Did I ever send you this? I don't know if I did.
Yeah, you did.
And then like it just tells you what they're struggling with specifically. So like letter identification, it told me what letters he missed on this identifying test. I way prefer that because now I can work on you with something
That
specific. And that actually made me feel a lot better. I know they have
a breakdown, yeah.
Yeah, I know they have to do report cards, and I know they can't give you a test every week. I liked this test, and his letters that he wasn't identifying were lowercase e and capital E. I think he's got a weird problem with the E's. I don't know what it is. And then B and D, lowercase.
Yeah, those are hard.
Lowercase only.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I literally don't care. I mean, I care.
Right, but not as concerned.
Yeah. I'm like,
Look at it.
oh, you're good.
Yeah.
He got all of his addition right, but not all of his subtraction. Like, again, cool.
Like you feel like all age appropriate. Like he's fine.
Yeah, and so I like that breakdown a lot better. And it was funny, on the counting by ones, fives, tens, he counted by fives.
I remember
Fives
that one.
were the only one he got right.
Yeah.
I'm like, how is he not counting by ones correctly, but he's counting by fives correctly?
Yeah.
To 100. And she had put a note on there. She was like, he counted to 39, then said 90, then counted to 100. I'm like, okay.
1, 2, skip a few.
Yeah. So he counted to 39, 90, and then went back to like, I guess 40 and kept going.
Okay.
Just like 90 and 40 got mixed up.
That takes me back. I remember having to practice to 50 and to 100 with my kids, and I'm just like, oh, I can't hear this one more time. But like, you got to get it, I guess.
Yeah. I think he can actually count to 100. I think he got a little, it's a lot of numbers.
It is. Like I said, I don't want to listen to all that. So you feel fine, kindergarten, on track, milestones.
I feel good.
Okay.
I did not with the report card, but I do now.
With my kids, obviously I want a certain grade on their report card. I'm not going to put any more pressure on. Emma puts pressure on herself. Like, I don't have to do that. I know if Henry gets below a certain grade, I'm like, but I know you're being lazy.
Right. It's not that you don't know it and you're not.
Yeah.
You're not trying.
I don't think you're struggling. Like, I don't feel like that sadness like I did when you got a BE. I feel like you don't care. And I know you're smarter than that and you got to work. But he don't want to work.
Yeah.
Unless it's something like, baseball that he enjoys or basketball.
Exactly.
No, we don't care about social studies. So I do have to push him on that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I definitely, like you said, I don't care about the grade. I care about the effort you're putting in.
Okay, I have to ask you this question. Are you a living room family or a bedroom family? And for y'all that haven't heard about this, this is like your kids feel comfortable and safe just to be anywhere they want in the house. So like they're hanging out in the living room if that's where you are.
My kids are any and everywhere.
My kids are comfy.
Mine are comfortable because they're propped up in my bed while I'm doing laundry. They're in the living room if they want to be in the living room. They're everywhere. They are rarely in their bedrooms.
Rarely, yeah.
Like, I don't know why I put toys in there.
When my kids were your kids' age, I can't imagine a time they were in their bedrooms.
No, they are not in their bedrooms unless we're sleeping. And even then, they like to sleep in each other's room.
Yeah,
like
that's
they
cute.
like to snuggle.
Yeah, my kids did too.
Yeah.
And we're always together in whatever room. It might be the three of us in Emma's, Henry's, mine. Downstairs, we're just like attached. And then, like middle school age, like Henry's starting definitely to do that now. Like just, they want to be in their room. Obviously, Henry's
Doing
probably
their thing.
playing a video game, or Emma's FaceTiming and watching TV. But also sometimes she'll say, but you can come in here and sit with me. Or Henry will be like, but will you come and watch me?
Yeah.
Like,
They're
but
transitioning.
I was always a living room kid. Like, I don't think I was in my room a lot.
I think I was in my room, but I might just be thinking of like teenage years.
Yeah.
It's hard to like remember beyond that, honestly. I don't know.
I mean, I never felt like I've got to be like out of the way.
Oh, no, I never felt like that.
In my bedroom.
I never felt like that. I think if I was in my room, it's because I wanted to be.
Right. I think that what this question was talking about is like, do your kids feel comfortable? Like,
Oh, yeah, they're comfy.
or do they feel like they have got to be like up in their room?
No, they're comfy.
Now, Emma loves her room. So I don't take that
I
as
want
a
my
negative.
kids to like their rooms. Like, obviously, Remy's is decorated with unicorns and
Right.
it's pink. And like Mason's has the construction and all that. I want them to be comfortable, but they're not in there.
Yeah. And when we redid Emma's room for like middle school and like we didn't have pink walls anymore, like
Sad day.
So sad. Like you getting the Barbie dream house while I'm getting rid of one is just like heartbreaking.
I know, I'm sorry.
But it's okay.
And it's also so weird because that's how far apart we are in age.
I know.
Emma and Remy, that's us.
I hope for that for them.
Yeah, me too. But yeah, it is weird to like, so when you were getting rid of your Barbie dream house, I was getting mine.
Yeah. Like, I have just always loved every stage. I know I've said that to you before, but I'm playing with the Barbie dream house. I am playing Legos with Henry. Like, I'm down for it.
Let's play.
So, I mean, yeah, I'm happy to lay in Emma's room and just chit chat. Like, it's a different relationship now, but like, I sent you this meme of a mom chasing a train, and it was like, I'm going to catch that train if it means I can hold my babies
As babies.
again one more time.
And it's not that you want more babies.
No,
you
I
want
really
your
don't.
children as babies again.
Just snuggle that little baby a little bit.
I'm not even that far away from it, and I'm already like, man, it's gone.
Because you know how fast it goes.
I do know how fast it goes. I'm
Yeah.
like, Mason is 5.5, so he's about to be 10.
No, that's how it goes.
I'm like, he's going to be Henry's age in no time.
And last time we were talking, you had to have Emma graduated, so
Well, I did.
it's coming.
It is. I mean, she's almost 14, Jordan.
14.
God.
Some of her friends like have a Henry birthday, so they're older, and their mom was like, they're about to get their permit. I was like, say what?
That's wild. I can't believe you're about to have like a kid this old. That's so weird.
Oh, well, speaking of, I don't know when we're going to post this episode, but I'm about to turn 40. So
You are.
So
40.
the big 4-0. I don't feel any type of way. I know some people go through like a midlife crisis, but I'm good.
Do you think it'll hit you later?
I mean, maybe. So, I usually prep beforehand if my kids are having a big birthday coming up. Well, any birthday for them. But I don't feel a type of way. But if it hits me on the day of, we'll come back and report. But
I think you're good.
I feel good.
I mean, it's literally in a few days.
Yeah. Like soon. And I'm good.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make Victoria go hang out with my family for my birthday.
Yes, I love it.
She's going to be a cousin.
I will join the family.
Yay. Okay, so y'all let us know in the comments what you thought about your kids' milestones, homework. We need to be keeping up with all of y'all too. And don't forget to follow us on Apple, Spotify, and on our Instagram account. Thanks.
Bye.